G'day world, Chris Hogan coming to you live from Rise Conference here in Hong Kong. Thanks to our partners Invest HK and Start Me Up HK. And I'm here with Koen Betlem, who is the area manager for Hong Kong. How are you, Koen?
I'm very fine, thank you very much.
This is Koen's virgin experience on a interview for Spaces. So let's see how you go, man.
Thank you.
So, Koen, how many spaces exist worldwide?
At this moment, we have 130 locations worldwide in 33 countries.
33 countries, that's amazing. So, for those that don't know, what is Spaces?
Space is a co-working space. So we have like a very big business center. We have members, we have a dedicated desk where people can just get their own spot in the business club. And of course, like a lot of offices where people can rent their office flexibly.
Fantastic. And so how many happening in Hong Kong at the moment or planned to happen?
We're going to open 5 locations in the coming 6 months all over Hong Kong.
Wow, 6 months. That's a big deal.
Yes.
And I've also seen the advertising around town, so you're advertising on the trams and whatnot. So there's one location at the moment, is that correct?
Yeah, we just opened Spaces Lee Gardens, our first location. Our second location is going to be Mayap Street on the Kowloon side, and the third location is going to be Sun House in the center of Hong Kong.
Okay, cool. And so, apart from co-working, I mean, like, what do people get out of it? Why are people abuzz with co-working?
It's kind of like the new way of working we see nowadays. So like we have we're not really focused on the startups, but it's like also like a lot of scale-up companies that choose co-working because it's convenient. We host a reception for them. We have like the whole business club. We have all the events around it. So we make the way of working way more attractive for companies.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, someone in Hong Kong actually just told me recently that they weren't sure about these co-working spaces. In fact, that you're a startup, and it's quite you've got some IP that you're building there, and it's maybe a bit secretive. You're not out yet, and anyone can just come along and take a photo of your what it is you're doing, and then steal your ideas. But it doesn't seem to happen that way, does it?
No, of course not, because companies need other companies. Like everybody needs to collaborate in our business club. They need people to find their business. So really, in the business club, we created a social heart where people can find each other and can help each other. And if you need some privacy, you will go back to your own office.
Yeah, that's right, and it is very collaborative. I've found that in the many countries that we've been going to, that the co-working spaces, the people in the co-working spaces in the communities are very supportive of one another.
Yes, for sure. Yes, for sure. We also create all those kind of partnerships, right? So we have this big community around the world. It's like one big community over the 130 locations. And with those partnerships, we really involve people from outside space to come to spaces to give great presentations and really mix up with our community.
Yeah. And Koen, I understand you're new to Hong Kong, straight out of Amsterdam.
True.
So how's that going for you?
It's awesome. The city has so much energy here. We're going to open 5 locations, so you get to talk to a lot of people, and the network here is great. It's like you really feel the energy when you walk on the street and meet all the people for Spaces and present Spaces from Amsterdam.
What about the cultural change, and what about the heat, and what about the food and the lifestyle change from Amsterdam? How's that going?
I really believe Hong Kong is very international. It's also very nice to try out new cultures, try out new food, try out local food. But after all, like the restaurants here are so good, like you can find any kind of cuisine over here you would not be able to find in Amsterdam.
No, that's right, and you're absolutely right. And I used to work here 16 years ago, and it's just gotten even better.
Yes,
the variety is amazing.
Yeah, I really believe so.
Yeah, and some people. So the heat. How are you handling the heat?
Ooh, the first week was terrible. So you're just walking on the street and you go to a meeting. At the moment you get inside, you get all sweaty and you're just like sitting in the meeting and you feel like your whole body pumping. But after a month you get kind of used to it. Not that you sweat less, but you just accept it.
That's right. Yeah, and the aircon is always so freezing cold.
I don't know how they do it. Like outside is like too warm, and then you go outside and you feel like wearing a scarf and a hat and gloves because they put the aircon just like a minus.
I always found that amusing.
Yeah.
But Fantastic. And you going to see any sites? Have you seen any sites since coming here? Have you been to Lantau Island or anything like that yet?
No. The first week I went to Thailand for like a short trip, just to relax a little bit before starting and opening 5 locations here in Hong Kong. But at this moment, just focus on work, and we first have to open our first locations. Afterwards, we think about vacation.
What's the mission or vision behind Spaces? Do you know much about that at all, and why they're doing what they're doing?
We can, of course. Huh? Yeah, it's a very tough question. But what we really try to accomplish here is build a global network where everybody can work together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And I've forgotten my next question. So it's the third day. It's the third day, and we're here at Rise Conference. And so how do people actually, I guess, best find out about getting into a space? How do they do that?
The big companies still go via the traditional brokers, of course, and the brokers advise them like, hey, maybe space or like a co-working space would be something for you. Of course, you have like a lot of marketing, especially here at Rise in Hong Kong with the trams driving around to Hong Kong.
Is there a website? What's the website?
Of course, spacesworks.com, and they just can go on the website, fill in the form, and we'll contact them.
Okay.
And of course, always walk into the business club and just say hello, and we will be happy to provide you with a tour and show you around.
Do you know if Spaces does any co-living around the world?
No, we don't. But in Shanghai, we're going to open 1 space location right now with another co-living concept. So we have an entire building.
So whereabouts?
In Shanghai.
All right.
Shanghai, we're going to open a new location. It's going to be half co-working and half co-living.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It does break down the barriers for when people are moving to that location,
definitely.
Or if they're temporary.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because getting your internet is obviously the most important thing in the world for everybody right now. If you don't have internet when you go to a new country.
And also, of course, like a nice business club where you can meet people.
Yeah.
If you go to a Starbucks, it's too crowded. It's not a professional setting. But if you come to the business club of Spaces, like you really have a place where you can work professional, and you will find other like-minded entrepreneurs.
And is it compulsory that every space has a ping pong table?
Yes, for sure. It's like also. It creates also like a little bit of fun. Like it's all about work, but of course you also have fun by the end of the day.
Why is it that ping pong has become the #1 sport for co-working spaces?
We also have table football.
Well, fantastic. Thanks so much for your time, Koen.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. It's lovely to meet Koen and lovely to meet Spaces. Thanks for watching, guys. We're live on facebook.com/Beach City Live. We're also on YouTube. And LinkedIn, just search for Beach City.